Hi everyone, Tom here from Moody's Gym, and welcome to episode 10 of the Garage Gym Workout Series. So the focus of today's session is going to be going over the good morning and how you can use it to improve your technique in deadlift. But before we get on to that, let's just go over a little bit of stretching that I like to do. At the start of every deadlift session I'll do this. It's part of the ritual, focusing on lengthening muscles in the posterior chain. So a little bit of lower back, a little bit of hamstring and hips. So you need some sort of band, or you can use like a long sock or a strap or even a belt if you've got it at home. Pop it around the ball of your right leg, right hand on the band, legs coming up to the ceiling. We're going to keep this leg straight to stretch out the hamstring. We're going to inhale, bring the knee to the chest. Exhale, push through to further stretch that hamstring. Go for 5 long deep breaths on this one. Each time you're trying to push your foot further up to the ceiling. Progress that stretch. Then you're going to open up the band to the side, stretch out your adductor on the inside here, come back up to the middle, swap hands, keep the leg straight, foot's going all the way over, right arm out to the side. Try and get your right heel on the floor, keep this leg straight here, and enjoy the stretch. And we'll go same on the other side. So it depends how tight you're feeling. If you've got lots and lots of DOMs in your glutes, hamstrings, then spend a little bit longer in the stretch. If you're feeling great, still do it, but just don't spend too much time on it. You'll learn to feel your body, analyse where it is, and then make a decision based off how it feels. If you've got one side that feels tighter than the other, then spend a bit more time there as well. Okay, so that's just a good overall lower body hip hamstring stretch. And a little bit more specific to the deadlift, we're going to do some stiff leg deadlifts. Just with an empty bar or kettlebell or dumbbell, whatever you've got at home. So, technique wise for this, normally when we do a Romanian deadlift, our knees are going to have a subtle little bend on them. Stiff leg deadlift, as it sounds, is the legs are going to be completely straight, okay? So shoulders are back is flat. Legs are perfectly straight, you're just going to push the hips back, making sure the knees don't bend at all. Get a stretch in the hamstring, come back up. So when I first start this, I can get to about the knees. And then my goal is to be able to get an inch or two past that, after about 10, 12 reps. Just lengthening those hamstrings, allows me to get into a better position then for the deadlift. Because if they're too tight, you just can't get all the way back behind the bar where you want to be. So make sure those legs stay as straight as you can. You should feel each time you can get an inch, well not an inch, centimetre lower. Okay, so moving on to the good mornings next. So a good morning, I want you to think of it as a deadlift, but with the bar on your back. Similar to a Romanian deadlift, all we're trying to do is practice the hip hinge, okay? So the benefit of doing this is it teaches you how to use your legs, that leg drive in the deadlift. So for years and years and years, I used to deadlift and use my lower back too much. So the perfect deadlift is the perfect combination of a pull and a push with the legs. So just from pretty poor technique, I got my deadlift up to around sort of 200, 210 kilos, but then it was really having to relearn the deadlift, relearn the technique, how to use the legs. This allowed me to get it up to 280 kilos now. So how we do the good morning, if you've got this set up, this is how you're going to do it. We'll go over some adaptations later if you don't. So whether you're using a safety squat bar or a normal bar, we want to go into a low bar sort of position on the back. Okay, so safety squat bar, you don't have a choice. It goes where you have it. And then we're going to come into exactly the same position with our feet as we would deadlift. So it's really, really specific to the deadlift. We take a big deep breath into the stomach, same as what you do on a deadlift. Pull your shoulders back, tuck to your lats, same as on a deadlift. You're going to push your hips back. I've positioned these pins to the right height for my deadlift height. So let me show you. So if I go down into my deadlift position here, as I'm on the pins, this is where the bar would be in the bottom of my deadlift. So you can see my knees are bent, but they haven't gone forwards in front of the bar. My elbows would be stacked against my knees, and my shoulders are directly over the top of them. So from there, I can push with the legs. So what you want to feel is the weight on the middle of your foot. You don't want to be back into the heels, you don't want to be forward on the toes. If you watch from the side, this part of the bar here, the centre of the bar, is going to be dissecting my feet perfectly in half. That's where you're the most powerful. If the bar's forward and it's on your toes, then you're going to be using your lower back too much. And it's pretty hard to get too far behind the bar, because then the bar will just pull you forward anyway. So you want this bar to be dissecting your feet perfectly in the middle. So slowly down, onto the pins here, and then pushing through as fast as you can. So in real time, I would be holding my breath on the way down, letting the weight rest on the pins for a split second, keeping that engagement in the core, and then driving up. So I'll do one without talking, so. So the cue that I like to give people when they're doing this is try and push the floor away. So when I'm in that position at the bottom, that feels exactly the same as if I'm holding onto the deadlift bar on the floor. What I then want to think about is trying to push the floor away from me. I'm obviously not going to win, so I'm going to go up, and it's my legs that are going to be doing most of the work on that. So that's the cue I want you to think about. So weight-wise for this, keep it relatively light to start with until you get the technique. If you haven't got a bar, then what I want you to do is put a band around your shoulders, stand on the band, and then make sure the band is vertical the whole time as you're doing it. If you haven't got a band, some sort of dumbbell or kettlebell, do a Romanian deadlift. Just exactly the same, but you're holding the weight here, making sure it's over the middle of the foot, and then driving through, okay? Just practicing that hip hinge. We're going to do 4 sets of 12, supersetted with chin-ups and dead bugs. So we'll go through the explanations for those now, okay? Okay guys, so for the working sets of the warm-up, we're going to go chin-ups, we're going to do the good morning, and then we're going to do dead bugs in a circuit, okay? Then you're going to rest up and do 4 sets altogether. You want to be looking at 10 to 12 repetitions, okay, for your warm-up. So if you haven't got somewhere to do chin-ups, then I want you to do a dumbbell row. So coming down into that deadlift position, rowing the dumbbells up, or barbell, row with whatever you've got, okay? So chin-ups just means palms facing you, pull-ups would be palms away. So we're going to go 10 repetitions in here, and 10 repetitions on the dead bugs. Okay, so with dead bugs, we want hips lifted off the floor, shoulders lifted off the floor, chin tucked. You're going to move one leg away and the opposite arm away at the same time. So something like this. So hips off the floor, chin tucked in between your legs so your abs are engaged. Push one foot away, push the other arm away. Hips are still off the floor. Come back to the middle and swap sides, okay? So 5 on each leg. fine, so on to some deadlifts next. So we're doing some speed work on the deadlifts today. So the weight I want you to choose is literally 30-40% of a 1 repetition max. So I'm going with 100 kilos. So I want 10 sets of 5 with a pause at the knee, okay? And we're going to do that at the top of every minute for 10 minutes. So the first set is going to start on the 12. You'll do your 5 repetitions, and you've got the rest of the minute to rest then before you get into your second set, okay? So 10 sets of 5 will be done in 10 minutes. So technique-wise, what I want to go over today is not too much because we've gone over the whole setup in previous videos. So if you want to know that, look back at previous videos. But I want to go through the angle from the side of a deadlift. So you should all have cameras or some sort of phone at home. So I want you to set up, just like I've got here, the camera perfectly to the side of the bar. So you can analyse your own technique and you can send those videos in to me, please, so we can analyse them together. So what you want to see from the side on a deadlift is when someone starts, the bar is cutting their foot in half. When we get up to the pause, so from the floor up to the pause, you want your elbows, shoulders and knees stacked directly over the top of the bar, okay? And then from the floor to the pause, it's going to stay exactly the same. From the pause onwards, the shoulders will come back a little bit, that's fine. But see if you can see what I mean here. So feet are under the bar. It's exactly the same as a good morning now. Just before I pull, my elbows, knees and shoulders will be directly over the top of the bar, okay? I'll then come up, pause just below the knee for 2 seconds, and then explode those hips through at the top. So. Then use the rest of your minute to rest, 10 sets of those guys. Okay everyone, so we're going to get some abs in to finish off, okay? So 3 different options. If you've got a pull-up bar, then we're going to do some L-sits. So easiest option is 2 arms on the bar, knees up, and you're going to hold that for, let's go for 10 seconds today, and you're going to do 6 sets. Or you can go straight legs, 6 sets, or you can do single arm, L-sit, 3 on each arm, okay, for 10 seconds. So, double arm, then either knees or legs completely straight, hold for 10 seconds, or if you want to try the single arm one, which we get a load of chalk on, it's going to work your grip strength as well, and then up in here for 10 seconds. An awesome exercise for building up that grip strength as well as the abs. If you haven't got a pull-up bar, I want you to try this ab exercise. We're doing it a lot on our live sessions on Zoom with all the members. I haven't really got a name for it, but you're going to come into sort of like a sit-up position here. You're going to have the strap between both legs. Both legs are going to be off the floor, and all you're going to do is you're going to swap your legs over. So the best way is just to watch me. So from here, chest is up, back is straight, abs are engaged. Pull 1 foot under, pull 1 foot over, and then straighten the top leg. It looks simple, but it really gets a deep burn in the abdominals. So some sort of strap or belt or whatever you've got, a stick also works. Give that a go. 3 sets of 10 on those guys, or if you're doing your L-sit variations. And that's the whole session done for today. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And until next time, as always guys, stay safe, stay inside, and stay strong.